Good morning, everyone. Don't normally do lives, especially in Tottenham. Normally do mental health lives, but thought I'd do a little. To be honest with you, my phone's playing up, so just done a whole 10-minute video and thought to myself, "Oh shit, memory come up full. Memory battery exhausted. Yep, I'm fucking exhausted as well." Point to this video was why are Spurs fans so divided on YouTube? Are we top four versus Trophy FC? That's a quite a good title, I thought. So I've got a little script because LJ told me do a little script and it might help you out, especially if you've got like ADHD and andropause and brain fog and everything mixed in with everything else. Some fans want stability in Champions League, right? Football every year, even if it means no silverware, while others are desperate for a major trophy at all costs, even if that means taking risks with managers, money, playing styles. I don't know what I wanted. I wanted a trophy this year. To me, a trophy meant so much more than anything else. And getting into the Champions League. I didn't realise that Postecoglou was going to sacrifice the Premiership. I was upset at that because I do like my Premier. I like that weekly football where you go and sit down each week and you watch a game and the score line was coming up and you think to yourself, do you know what? I've had enough of this. Every week you're telling your kid, mate, another loss. Oh, I've got the ump today. Right, the divide that on YouTube, I think it if we expand the thing, it's sort of come up between Conte and Pochi, didn't it? The divide, the maximum divide that these people have all got on YouTube. We've all been divided. Right, so some fans, right, they was rating or content creators and platformers, whatever you want to call them, they was rating the progress on the league positions while other content creators care about the silverware drought. I cared about the silverware drought. So did a lot of other content creators. A lot of them were saying 15th and a cup, 17th and a cup. Then they got it, then they complained. Mate, you really can't complain. We've got a cup. Premiership, he threw that. Mate, he did give me the umps throwing away the Premiership, I ain't going to lie. YouTubers amplify personal agendas online. The algorithm that rewards strong opinions, right? So when it don't reward balanced opinions, which winds me up. So the dramatic always outweighs the nicey crap, doesn't it? Certain creators lean towards the Leviat activism, and they rely on that activism, and they rely on blaming everything on Daniel Levy. Others defend the board and the long-term plan. This creates fan camps who argue in comments and they boycott each other because of this. I've seen it. We've all seen it. We've all seen the YouTube activism. Other content creators boycott this, they boycott that, and in the end, the Spurs love goes out the window, and it sort of it gives Spurs YouTube community an identity crisis, doesn't it? Are we an underdog club or a sleeping giant, or are we a nearly team? Fans, I watched Spurs analysts last night. They can't even agree on what realistic success looks like, can they? So I was watching the debate, and was it a debate? See, this is where the word debate gives me the ump. I always thought a debate was two opposing sides, not a bunch of Tottenham fans arguing on success versus this. That's just listening to each other. That's just discuss, not debate, in my opinion. But it becomes like a battleground for like an identity fight, doesn't it? And it's no good. It's not very nice to watch, to see, to look at, and you think to yourself, do you know what? I've just had enough of this. Especially when watching last night is just another example of parasocial fandom that was in the chat, yeah? you had one guy called Scott M having a conversation with a guy called Billy, and Billy was arguing, wanted an answer. Scott M was just doing this parasocial fandom thing where he's obviously started supporting Spurs, started watching Tottenham away, and he's become totally loyal to. You're right, Dragon. It's full of armchair experts, isn't it? You know, all you want to do is watch your team play, watch your team win, hopefully, and that's all there is to it. But that's just what I'm coming up to that subject as well. That there's so many of them, like the parasocial aspect. The certain people in the chat are just toxic. They've been manipulated to be toxic, and unbeknownst to them, they've carried on this persona, this facade, and now they dug themselves into a rabbit hole. When just get rid of it all. Everybody will forgive and forget, you know. Just let all us Spurs fans just love one another and fucking get on with one another. It is horrible to watch, isn't it? You know, the raw emotions that everyone has got in the chat is just totally. I don't know whether they're raw. Some of them are parasocial emotions that have been manipulated by the constant demeaning of the club. Like you got the Tottenham aways, that sort of side of the fence, where a lot of their fan chat are parasocial, and it's terrible. Yeah, the name calling, and yep, see, it all brings a divide, doesn't it, Dragon? Let me read it out. I agree about the parasocial toxicity online, even the name calling with the community, e.g., sexuals, happy clappers. Yeah, they're horrible, but it's all meant. They're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose for clickbait to cause the drama, Dragon, because the algorithm rewards them with everything, doesn't it? You know, they're the ones that's going to get the most clicks and likes because of the drama, and even the content creators are fed into it themselves through YouTube. It's like a total a parasocial. Wow, they're just working the parasocial and working the parasocial, and now it's got to a point where no one wants to watch it, do they? No one wants to see it. I watched it last night on Spurs Danil's show. It got so dramatic, and one of the content creators was laughing when Stelios was getting dramatic. And the Hotspur Wood was sitting there. He wasn't laughing along, but he was laughing along because it gets the clicks, it gets the algorithm going. When in reality, we all should just be loving one another, respecting one another, because they do keep telling us on every one of these channels that sit on that other side of the fence that respect the opinion, but they won't respect your opinion. I'll see that in the chat. You know, you should have been called out, that Scott M, in the chat by one of the owners of the channel. Just calm down, respect Billy's opinion, answer the question, or shut up. Just plain and simple, you know, it's not nice. Yeah, we're always getting compared. They can't not compare us to other teams in the league we share, I suppose, in that respect. But at the same time, you can't compare Tottenham to any other club, can you? It's in the words of Paul the Hotspur hippie, like we are the greatest football team that ever lived. There's no comparing. Fuck the filth, fuck the Northern Monkeys, fuck the Scousers. I couldn't give a monkeys. All I love is Tottenham Hotspur, to be honest with you. But that opinion doesn't get respected, does it? Have we had too many false dawns? That was my next part of the script that I had. We've had so many near misses, 2016, 2019. Now the trust is fractured between them all. All the fans are just fractured, splintered. I'm not understanding why it's splintered, because we're a nearly there team. Are we a nearly there team? We've got a Europa Cup this year. Sacrificed the league, didn't we? Yeah, you are right, Dragon. I'm not disrespecting. I actually respect your opinion to a degree. I understand, but when people are consistently shitting on Spurs as a so-called Spurs fan, it is a bit silly. It is a bit silly. This is my argument with when you get debates and you get the celebrity squares and they've got one here, one there, one on that side, one at the bottom. And the big thing is the debate. No, a debate is two opposing views. Them four people haven't on screen, haven't got an opposing view. They've got this dramatic take on Spurs. Because of the algorithm, they have to put this false facade on to be dramatic, to demean. And as we all know, it's YouTube, man. YouTube is primarily a place where you got the Ben Shapiro's, them sort of people on YouTube, the American guys who debate and they demean people. You know, it's total, it's horrible to watch. I can't stand it when they demean other yids. I can't stand it. I got demeaned for saying the word yid. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind. I'm Yid Army. I don't care if I say it. We reclaim the word. But other people, oh no, it's the first thing that they jump on. If they don't agree with you, they will jump on me about that. Oh, you can't say that. But you're a yid. I've seen you singing it. There's a video on YouTube of you singing it, bruv. There's a video of you singing it on YouTube. There's a video of We Are Tottenham singing it on YouTube. But when I say it, oh no, oh mate, it is the worst thing you can ever fucking imagine, isn't it? The sky fucking drops through. Everyone shits the bed. Oh, the algorithm goes fucking out the window. I can't be bothered with none of that shit, to be honest with you. What can be done about all this, Dragon? What do you think can be done about all this divide on YouTube? It was my fault. I've got a script. I've got a script written on my phone, bruv. First time I've had a fucking script, bruv. Come on, lad. There's only one of us watching. And I'm sitting in my pants. Mate, I thought I'd get more Johnny sexuals. We've got Johnny sexuals today. Anyway, I reckon if they had more open-minded debates with more of the platform catered for, because they seem to divide YouTube. So Paul the Hotspur hippie, Jacob, won't appear with this other person on screen because the other person is on a certain side of the fence. The Hotspur Wood can't appear with this one. Or no, do you know what? I think he would actually appear with people. Let's get the little click. The little click. Let's talk about the little clicks on YouTube. Perhaps they don't sit on an open-minded debate with other sides of the fence, do they, and have a proper open-minded debate. It always gets to demeaning, or you get the sort of Brian Dagels who come on and they sort of like just bosh it on, mate, like fucking the dramatic algorithm again, you know? And you never get a fair debate where one person, I'm using the word debate, discuss, we call it discuss. I mean, you never get a fair discussion because certain people know how to work YouTube and have been on it so long, they've got this attitude. And they don't celebrate the diversity of opinion either. You know, the diversity of opinion is what's supposed to make a discussion a discussion. A debate, you know. Yeah, I don't watch too many Spurs YouTube, to be honest with you, Dragon. Not at all, mate, if you're still there. I'm not. I've started to watch them. And I've got into this frame of mind where I think everyone should just love each other and respect each other in the most purest form, the same as supporting your club in the most purest form. Win, lose or draw, we've got a cockcrow on our fucking chest. We are Tottenham Hotspur. So I'm trying to take that into account and do that on my YouTube and just support everyone regardless, in a hope that someone as divisive and as offensive as I can be will just shut them up. Come on, man. Just celebrate the diversity of opinion on YouTube within Spurs fandom. Let's hope. We can all wish, can't we? Dragon says, for example, We Are Tottenham TV. The only person that somewhat backs the team is the positive sim. Ben on the other hand, Ben and the other guests are always shitting on the team. That's true. You've got two brothers. But do they do it on purpose? Is it a manipulated facade for us viewers? I like authentic, real people. Is that plastic, what they're doing? Where you've got two brothers with two different opinions. I could do it with LJ on his show, couldn't I? I could quite easily sit there with LJ and be the opposing view. you know, or with any of fellow co-creators on the LJ show. I could sit there and put this facade on. In turn, I changed my mind about Ange. All through the season, I changed my mind about Ange. Oh, he's dog shit. He's good. I've got loads of videos that I can put out, and it's you think Sim's more level-headed than Ben. I seem to think he's more intellectual. He's got a better way. He's got a lovely way with words. The other brother to the Tottenham hater brother. You know what I mean? Ben is more emotional and listens to Brian Daigle too much. You know what? I think they all feed into this absolute horribleness. What I was saying earlier, they're parasocial with each other. So what I said about Scott M in the chat in the Spurs Analyst show, he is so parasocial with Stelios from Tottenham away, right? It feeds into the chat, and he's so negative with it. Instead of the host of the show should celebrate the diversity of Tottenham's opinions, mate. They don't. They feed into it. They feed into it, and they're laughing at it like it's a joke because they're getting the likes and clicks. Just stop it, people. Just get on the Spurs train, mate. The Spurs love. Fucking hell, mate. I wish I could. Oh, do you know what? Perhaps Scott M should have come to the Spurs parade. He should have flown over and come onto the Spurs fucking parade. Maybe he might have stood there and actually thought to himself, wow, this is what being a Yid's all about, isn't it? Being a Yid, mate. We've done it in Spain. We've done it in France. You know? Being a Yid, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It was just so nice. And we was all opposing views on that parade. All opposing views. I was talking to people. They was all had totally different opposing views. But there's one thing we all had in common. We all love Spurs, and we hated what's going on in the digital world. Maybe it's an age thing, some of this digital world, you know what I mean? Trying to unite a fan base in the Spurs community. The protesters tried to unite the fan base, didn't they? Let's put fucking quotes on that. All they're uniting is that geezer being platformed on total different platforms. And really, he should still be protesting the geezer. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do agree, Milton. Good morning, Milton, in Australia. How are we? I do agree. What Stell said about Jacob and his son is unforgivable. Well, let's be Christian. Let's be Christian about this, Milton, right? We ain't stooping down to his level. We are going to forgive. We are going to not forget, but we will forgive and try and help him, make him a better person with Spurs love, mate. You know what I mean? That's what he should do. You know, you can't take that back once you said it. I understand. It's one of those, it's like a husband and wife argument. If you say something that out of order, sometimes you can't then ever take it back. And he can't never take it back, but he can make it right by doing the right thing, you know, celebrating diversity of opinion and respecting other people's opinion and without demeaning. You know, he didn't have to fly fucking 3,000 miles away for a landmark cult to tell him he's a better person. You could have phoned Johnny up, reached out, mate. You know what I mean? Help me. I'd have helped you, bro. 5:30 and it's fighting floods and cyclones. Do you know what? We've got a bit of rain here, Milton, today. We've gone down to, I think, fucking 15 degrees this morning from 32 yesterday. I'm still sitting there with no top on. I'm sweating my nuts off, mate. Yeah, no amount of tactics and money will make your team magically better. That is the truth. You know what I mean? Even no magic manager. You know? Look at the Man City. He had a flow of losing games. You know what I mean? It's the mindset of the players. At least we've had Postecoglou come in and change the mindset of the players. Look at them when they all went out on their international duty. Some of them scored. They all had blinders. That was the mentality. The winning mentality. Perhaps he's right, Postecoglou. You know what I mean? Perhaps he's right. Milton says, when you talk about your family, you are fucked. Yeah, you are. You are. It should never have been brought up. It's the mindset of the person, isn't it? The mindset of that person who talks horrible about someone's family. Wow. Where does that mindset end? You know, he's the sort of person that probably would come on and see a smaller creator, preferably pick on one that's female, and then start. That's the sort of mindset that we're talking about that we've got to change. You know, and that platforming of himself on everybody's show, because this geezer lives rent free in a lot of these content creators lives rent free in a lot of these content creators' heads, right? Where they think because he's got this amount of subs and they've got this amount of subs, they've got to platform him because they're going to get that amount of subs. They're only getting subs because of the dramatic content, and the non-diversity of opinion. Underline the non-diversity of opinion. Milton, me, Dragon, we won't ever get platformed on anything because of our opinion. It's not as diverse. No, sorry, not as dramatic, but we're diverse. We're more proper balanced opinion. You won't get nowhere on the algorithms with a balanced opinion. They feed into the YouTube analytical rabbit holes, don't they? We'll try and change that, mate. We'll just fucking all forgive and forget them, I suppose. And just try and get on with Spurs love, spreading it, you know, in a non-divisive, in a non-offensive way. Because in that way, they can't turn around and say to us, well, you being offensive, you being divisive. I was trying to open people's eyes with being offensive and divisive, trying to punk it up, you know what I mean? But they don't like that, do they? What does Dragon say? I think Ange did make a deep impact on the squad. I think he made a deep impact on the squad. I think they got rid of him because he made a deep impact behind the ballroom as well. You know? I think he was getting more respect than people were fucking saying on YouTube. I think they got rid of him because he was getting himself into the club and people were listening to him and understanding him and thinking, do you know what? I know we're shit in the league, but we've got this cup run, and there's not many managers who will sacrifice a Premier League game, is there, for the cup? Come on. You know what I mean? I hate the fact, brother, most YouTubers think us people have no foot. That's another diverse opinion that should be celebrated on YouTube within the Spurs community. We've got fans from all around the world. Milton, we talk to each other. You've got football knowledge more than I have. You might not have the heritage, me coming from London, but the football knowledge is equal. You cannot disrespect. We call them with the old quotes up. You cannot disrespect a foreign football fan. Some of you foreign football fans are the most patriotic to the football club, are most loyal to the football club, are the most passionate to the football club I've ever seen in my fucking life. Take, for instance, you, Milton, Leo, Jacob, expat, Paul, the Hotspur EP. Loyal, really loyal, more loyal, with a more diverse opinion, with more fresh ways of looking at the football club than some of these YouTube content creators who have predominantly sat there and just been moaning old bastards. Let's say it straight. Been moaning old bastards. Hopefully they might change. They might see the error of their ways and platform people on Tottenham away. We Are Tottenham. Instead of platforming the same Stelios on We Are Tottenham and the same Brian Daigles and the same narrative, perhaps they might platform people with a more diverse opinion of Spurs, a more balanced opinion of Spurs, you know, because it is terrible to watch, isn't it? Dragon says, to be honest, I think it's a cultural thing as well. In Australia, people that support clubs have a different mentality. They back their teams no matter what. We used to do that. We used to do that in Britain, in England, no matter what, right? It's YouTube that's divided the fan base. Is it predominantly people that watch digital media that are divided, feeding into the parasocial? I think that might be an aspect of it as well. I.e., I used to talk to certain creators. When I talk to Paul, the Hotspur hippie, because he's my friend, and he's got my back, and I'm loyal to Paul because just out of friendship. I'm not loyal to his opinions. I'm loyal to that person because I respect that person, right? But he's got his opinion, and I proper respect it, and I will fight his corner for him to have freedom of speech. But the other content creators don't want to give him freedom of speech, and they'd rather get him on, press a button, demean, and there you go. The diversity of opinion is totally wrong within the Spurs community. You know, that's what you watch games at 1 a.m. every week and pay 500. Oh, Milton, how can you pay that much money? I'll try and help you out on that one, bro. 100% true, yeah, Dragon. Do you know what? I could have put a StreamYard link. You could have come on, Dragon. Even sat there with just an L. You know, you could have had your say, brother. It's not YouTube, it's football in general. Any coding, sporting, as you get back to the, yeah. But that was the same in England until. Do you know what? In England, we have got a terrible parasocial aspect through media, i.e., Talk Sport, where they've divided a lot of people. You know what I mean? They have divided a lot of people. I'm going off in a minute, Milt, and I only come on live. I don't normally do a live, Milt, as you probably know. I normally do a video, but I got memory exhausted. I'm exhausted, bro. Fucking hell. Memory exhausted. So I've had to come on and do a live because I've got no memory on my phone. Next live I'll do in a couple of days, Milt. We'll go on together, bro. People like Stel and Sav are always conditional fans. They support the team under conditional, yeah. You know what I mean? There is always a but. There is always a but. There is always a but. But maybe we could help them get better people. Maybe they can listen to smaller channels with a more diverse opinion instead of getting this. They do it on purpose to content creators. Now, you can't say they don't. We've all got fucking eyes, right? They all sit there. Look at when that young boy Alex come onto the scene. You know Alex? If you want to know, get to know that guy. Yeah? You know, the one with the glasses, right? And when he come onto the scene, they all laughed at him. They all laughed at him. He had a diverse opinion of Spurs, and they all laughed at him. They got him on their show for them to demean, you know? And he put up a thick skin because he's got a thick skin. And he thought, you know what? I'm just going to carry on with my opinion because it's my opinion. Fair play to the guy. Even if he's got a different opinion to me, fair play to him. He stuck to his guns, you know? But it's horrible. It's horrible the way they talk tough behind the screen and say it on the. They talk tough behind the screen, and they won't be this diverse on the street because YouTube brings out the facade, the weird facade. Me and you, Milton, we've grown up on the wrong side of the tracks, brother. I come from a criminal background on the streets, and I won't say where you've come from, Milton, but you've grown up on the wrong side of the tracks. You understand as well, you know. And yeah, the things that they say on camera, they wouldn't say they would never say on the streets. Myself, I'm the same person off camera and on camera. Am I? I'm not. I'm going to ask my daughter. Am I the same person on camera as off camera? Bill. Well, she's stuck in a fucking Nintendo, bruv. What can I throw at her? Should I throw my cup over the room? So she just looked up. She is hypnotized on a Nintendo. I said, am I the same person as I am off screen as on screen? She's nodding. She's nodding. Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not scared to say I'm only little. I'm hobbit size, 5'7". You know what I mean? But the things they say on screen, they wouldn't say in pub. They wouldn't say at the parade to people, would they? You know, because people would just get angry and they wouldn't say it at the Tottenham Stadium. You know, in fact, certain content creators, I've been told stories of certain content creators at the stadium doing a runner. How bad is that? You know what I mean? Doing a runner. Hotspur Wood says, box office, top fella, always backed him. It's different opinions that we're all allowed. Also, hold on. It's different opinions. That's all we're all allowed. One, just be willing to accept others. That's the thing. That's the thing. Mr. Hotspur would what we was talking about earlier. Some of them don't respect the diversity of other people's opinions. So in that thing, it's okay for them to keep saying, or that side of the fence to keep saying, "Oh, we'll respect your opinion," or "No, you've got to respect our opinion," but they won't respect a diverse opinion that comes from the other side. Sorry, Dan. It, and that's where a lot of the parasocial aspect comes in with the chat, because someone has an opinion in the chat, which is a diverse opinion, which maybe they have got a different way of looking at Spurs. And then you've got the content creators with the little sidekicks in the chat who will nullify and demean that person with a diverse opinion. And that's what we're trying to combat now. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not feeding into it. When I call it out, I'll call it out and just try and fucking kill him with love. Kill him with Spurs love. You know what I mean? Because being divisive and offensive and making people wake up to it all, that wasn't working. You know, I think people should wake up to the diversity of opinion on Spurs and embrace it. Like, I'd like to see the Hotspur hippie sitting on a channel with someone on the other side of the fence respecting the diversity of opinion. And then the Hotspur hippie might respect that one. And we'll get everyone together and it'll be a nice debate. Or get Jacob with someone else. But it ain't like that, is it? Everyone just platforms the same dramatic content. You know what I mean, Dan? I was watching you yesterday on the Nige Spurs and Pure Coys and Spurs and the other guy's channel. And the way Stelios was talking to you, for us as a viewer, mate, I wanted to stand in the middle and say, don't talk to Dan like that, because of the condescending attitude that was coming over on the airwaves as a viewer. You know, I thought to myself, wow, that's his mate and he's talking to him like that. What the fuck? You know, it's he wasn't understanding your diversity of your opinion. And at the same time, I was in the chat reading toxic chat and thinking to myself, fucking hell, there's one going off in the chat, he's demeaning on TV, but it's YouTube. That is, the analytics love a bit of fucking drama. YouTube reward the drama, don't they? Drives me crazy. Just what, you know, Bosch, Cobain, blows your head up. Right, what's people said? I'll never agree with Stel and Sava. Do you know what? Some of the things Sava says, I agree with. Some of the things Stel says, I agree with. I don't agree with the way they go about the YouTube, the way they work themselves into every platform. I don't agree with the constant tapestry that they've got within the cartel or that side of the fence, because they should be celebrating diversity. Sometimes I agree with their football knowledge, but I don't agree with the way they go about their expressing their opinions by condescending and demeaning to other Spurs fans. I can't stand it. That's what I mean. I watched that Spurs analyst last night, and the way Stel was talking to the Hotspur would, well, I'm not affiliated with either party, but I wanted to stand in the middle. And just say, you can't say that to Dan, bro. You know what I mean? He's sitting there chilled out, and you've got this demeaning thing on. I don't know whether Dan took it like that. I know he's got a thick skin, Dan, and I just found it wasn't nice to watch. I had to turn it off, and I like to watch certain shows. You know, I had to turn it off, and I thought to myself, I'm getting triggered, bruv. I'm getting triggered. what does Dan say? Sometimes you've got to know people to get them to come across raw. Sometimes you got to get to know people to get them more. Some come across raw. Me being one of them. Everyone's got their own way. Stell's fine. It's how he comes across. I can hold my own on YouTube. Yeah, he does come across. Yesterday, he come across really horrible to you, Dan. Really horrible. It is, and that's just as a viewer. You know, me and my wife, I showed it to my wife. We were sitting there. I went, look at that. You know what I mean? Because I've done my video saying about, you know, what I've done on my videos previously. And I said to my missus, see, look, it's just total dramatic. And it is for the YouTube dramatising and the facade on YouTube where YouTube people want to, they're like actors. They want to exude this fucking, it exacerbates their opinions, doesn't it? They've got this facade on where they're, I'm Mr. Football Knowledge. You don't know more than me. And that's how it come across. That's how it come across. It was horrible to watch. The way you put it about agreeing with certain things, but it's not about the way they go about. Yeah, they don't. I agree with certain aspects of a lot of these content creators, i.e., things they say about how bad we was doing and blah blah blah. But the way they're doing it, wow, just fucking wow. You know what I mean? Just demeaning. That's like there was a little content creator the other day, a right small content creator, a female lady. She got started on by a big content creator. I'm not going to say no names, but she got started on in the comments by a big content creator. Right? Why? She's just a Spurs lady who's just come on to talk about Spurs in her own way. Yet the other little content creator went for her. Wow, that's just wow. I'm not feeding into it no more. I'm not going to even do videos about it, or I'll do a couple of lives and just talk about it and my view on it all as a Spurs fan, you know, just as a bit of a yid. What does Milton say? Like what you're trying to do, Johnny. I love you. I love you, Milton. You know I love you, brother. But he can't wash or give a second chance. I respect you, Milton. Do you know what? If I was you, well, you ain't got a YouTube channel and that. I understand where you're coming from. I actually understand where you're coming from. You've got a mind, and no one can tell you. No one can gatekeep your mind. It's free. You keep doing what you're doing, Milton. You know what I mean? I rely on you to be fucking solid, brother. Like if you tell me you're and this is by Dragon. Like if you tell me Ange out because of the league performances and you think the club should be top 6, that's fine. But when you call people ansexuals or happy clappers, that's totally bad. That's totally bad. Especially using the gender, you know, about Tottenham. That's just weird. It's just weird. You know what I mean? Perhaps perhaps we can think of a name for them, can't we? Perhaps we can call them, what can we call them? Perhaps they've had a lot of trauma in their lives. Let's not call them anything. You know, they've had a lot of trauma. Perhaps it comes out in what they're doing. I don't know. Can't stand the facts. People calling Ange a fat CUNT. Do you know what that is? That sort of I found that funny when they started calling him all sorts of names. Yeah, I don't know whether it's an English thing. It certainly they didn't never call Conte an Italian. See you next Tuesday, did they? Didn't bring a gender into it, or a country, or a vulgarity into it. They didn't do it with Mourinho, you know, for fear of being called out, whatever. But they can do it. They can call him, and they can pick out a nationality, and then they can pick out a fucking vulgarity. Do you know what? Just leave them to it. Fucking leave them to it. Peter says, I see enough shit in my job without having to listen to toxic. It is toxic. YouTube is toxic. You've got full stop. YouTube's toxic. Let's try and change that, you know. Let's not be toxic. Us lot have got not. Let's just kill him with Spurs love, bro. not be toxic. You know what I mean? Otspurwood says he wasn't rude in my opinion. If I thought so, I'd say so. Trust me, I speak my mind. It was just heated with a bit of passion, nothing more. Like I said, yeah, but it didn't come across over that. It didn't come across, Dan, like that. It come across really horrible. You know, that's just me as a viewer. That's just my opinion, bro. And it helps when some people knowing them. Yeah, I understand you know him. It didn't come across like that as a viewer, though. It come across horrible. It really did come across horrible. To the point, as I say, I turned off. You know, I left my phone running on the Nige show just to support him with the Sandan. But it did come across horrible. You know what I mean? There's no two ways of saying it. It's fucking. If you was in a car park and you heard that from two different people in the car behind you, or you was in a shop queue and you heard that from two different people coming from behind you, I would have stood there and watched. You know, I'd have thought he's kicking off, son. But if that's what the passion is, that's what the passion is. It was just my opinion on that. You know, people label you to try and shut you up. Oh, mate, don't tell me about being shut up. I've been gatekeeped myself. I understand people labeling you. I only done one bipolar. I done a load of bipolar videos, and then a few of them got sent out to Discord and WhatsApp groups, and they labelled me as absolutely crazy. When I'm sorry, bipolar is about emotions. 1 minute I'm depressed, next minute I'm high as a kite with happiness, and I try and keep myself in the middle. But I got labelled. I got manipulated by the WhatsApp groups, the Discord groups, very early on when I come onto YouTube. So much so that I've seen the WhatsApp messages. I've seen what people said. Wow. Just wow. You know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy. Milton says, people saying Francophile and imagine his surname was Peter. Milton, that's quite funny. You know what I mean? People love you to shut you up. I said that one. Let Dragon guys. Anyway, another news, I'll actually be visiting London at the start of August, thinking of doing a Tottenham Stadium tour. Since there aren't any games, I'll be there. Good. Go to London, go to Bethnal Green, have some pie and mash. If you're going to have pie and mash, go down the Roman. Because the one in Bethnal Green Road, the geezers fucking sold out of pies the other week, bruv, when I was in there. How can you sell out of fucking pies and mash in a pie and mash shop in Bethnal Green? That's just thick, mate. I've never been on a stadium tour myself. I might actually go on a stadium tour. It might be exciting. I don't know about that. Is the Hotspur Hood the guy with the shades? He's the guy with he's got bad eyes like me. I should wear shades when I'm looking at the computer as well. You know, photosensitive. This is why I don't predominantly. I do little quick videos. I've got photosensitive eyes as well, but I've not got epilepsy or nothing. I've just got I get eye migraines really bad. I'm on sumatriptan at the minute for my eye migraines, so I understand where it's coming from. Dan is okay, Milton. It's just opinions. I totally like Dan's opinions. I've got no problem with I've got no problem with certain people on certain channels who express themselves without this I've never found the Hotspur word condescending or patronising to view, which is a marvel considering he's on channels with people that's condescending and patronising for us viewers to watch. It's quite nice. It's refreshing, you know. That's one of the reasons why they probably get him on the show, because he's not like them. He's really not like them, and it is a little bit of it's refreshing, isn't it, when you've got a different opinion. It's just a shame that they don't diversify and get other people's opinions on, because it would be interesting to see a proper Yid who celebrates football, who celebrates the club like I do, you know, regardless, win, lose or draw, fucking Yid army, bro. You know what I mean? Without having to demean a player without having to slag off the players. But I understand where they're coming from with their discussions. We won't call them debates because they're not debates. They're not opposing views. They're discussions within Tottenham fan bases. So discuss. Sunglasses had 10-point style. Of course they do, mate. That's why I got Ray-Bans, bro. You know, you can't scrimp on a good pair of sunglasses. These YouTubers are like little dogs with a big mouth, but once I open the gate, they shit themselves. Yeah, do you know what? Let's not talk about dogs. My dog's just passed away. I'll go and start crying on camera. Mate, my dog, I went out the garden yesterday. Something happened, and normally I got my service dog, my big Alapa service dog, big bulldog he was. And I'm sitting outside with my sunglasses and my fucking coffee and my fag, and I looked over in the corner where we used to sit. Mate, I was nearly bursting into tears, mate. My bestest dog I've ever had in my life. Half American bulldog, half leopard dog. Best dog I've ever had in my life. And the sir used to help me up when I couldn't get up off the floor. If I was in fucking state of fucking panic, mate, he'd calm me down. Oh, bruv. My best mate. God bless, bruv. I've done door work in Brixton. All the debates when heated are minors to me. Personally, I enjoy the heated debates, I'll admit. Oh, mate, you done door work. I got offered 2 doors in Peckham by the Turkish lot, right? And my brother-in-law, he was quite well up in the Turkish lot. He went to me, Johnny, I've got a job for you. 2 Peckham doors. Peckham, right? You think Brixton's fucking bad. It is Peckham, right? Peckham. I said to him, if it all kicks off, what do you think I'm going to do? He goes, right, I'll give you a chiv. I just looked at him. Bruv, I was in my 40s. What the fuck? In my 40s. I couldn't do that in my 40s. I think I've got a good 3 minutes in me. And that's mouthing. I think I've got, do you know what? I'm 51. I don't think I've got any minutes in me no more. But doing the doors, oh, mate, I couldn't be bothered doing them doors, bruv. My pal fucking used to do the doors down Hippodrome and the Scala and all them sort of places and King's Cross and shit, mate. I was doing the doors. Fucking hell, mate. And now with all the licensing and stuff and the SIA badges and shit, fuck that. Fuck all that shit. When a player's good, he gets credit. When shit, they deserve to get told. Again, it works both. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with saying when someone's shit, when someone's good. I think it's quite funny. What I disagree with is the constant demeaning of the player personally. Let's take Brendan Johnson. Right, poor Brennan, right? That boy got it bad. He got racial abuse. He's even getting abuse now, saying he's going out with, is it Bonnie Blue on TikTok? He's got a girlfriend and he's still going through this naughty abuse. Some of it does stem from YouTube and the parasocial aspect. The keyboard warriors go out there and multiply. You know, that's bad. I would love to start a channel, but don't have the time. And you know my situation, Johnny. Milton, starting a channel. You've only got to have a phone and 5 minutes. Just do what I do, bro. Just do what I do if you want. We'll always help you out, me and Lou. Me and Lou, we've got all the time in the world for you, brother. You know? Garage fence in Manchester. You know what? Manchester. Let's not talk about Manchester. My pals used to run doors in Manchester. My pal used to go to the Asadina in Manchester. I was about 16 at the time. And one of my pals used to be up there working. I think he was a scasser. He used to be up there working on one of the doors. And the other pal used to be friends with some geezer. I think the owner, Tony, at the Hacienda. I think his name was Tony. And, mate, that scene's fucking mental, bro. Brixton Academy. Do you know what? Let's leave Brixton alone. Fuck me. I'm not a big fan of Brixton Academy. I've had so many ructions going in there myself as a paid fucking member of the fucking public. Fucking trying to go through my fag box, bruv. You need a fucking iodine, mate. Being serious, this weather where I live is scary. Got home from work, my shed blew off. My winds are like 120 km in the rain. Milton, just be safe, brother. Just be safe. Fuck me. You work all that mate. Australia's bad, isn't it, for weather? You know what I mean? I've got to get off in a minute because I've got to go and do some emails. I've got stuff to do. Johnny's got stuff. I've got executive stuff to do today, bro. Oh, fuck me. I can't put them sunglasses on. Not proper glasses. See, this is the photosensitive. If I put the glasses on, I'm looking at a reflection in my glasses and straight away, hologram in my eyes. See you later. Off topic question. You like in the UK, which club is the most supported in question? You like in the UK, which club is the most supported in Oz? It's Manchester United and Liverpool. In the UK, the most supported club, the most football shirts I see in Kent are Arsenal and Tottenham. If I go up north a little bit, it starts to turn into Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool. If I go into central London, it'll be Chelsea, depending on what parts of London, I suppose. In London, it's a multitude of football clubs. You can't really get a feeling for a big club in London because you've got the tribalism of London, i.e., you've got us yids, you've got the filth, you've got them slags from South. You've got a lot of Millwall in London, a lot of arse, a lot of filth, and then you've got all the glory hunters, all the London glory hunters in London, ain't you? Who've got Liverpool tops and Man United tops and Man City tops and every other fucking top you can fucking imagine. Oh, what? I've got to take my hand down, bro, when I talk about them other football clubs. If you go up north, there's a lot of Manx. You know what I mean? A lot of Manchester United glory hunters. You go to Birmingham, it's all Aston Villa, Birmingham City, and they're proper tribal. That's what I'm saying. England used to be tribal like that. You know, we all had our clubs. We all had our parts of London where we come from. It's like where I come from is West Ham and fucking Tottenham Hotspur. So you're either one or the other. But you're always families are divided. Al Jennings will tell you in the comments. He comes from Bethnal Green as well, only down the road to me. And it's Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham in Bethnal Green. You go across the road to Old Street, walk past Shoreditch up to Old Street, and they're all Arsenal fucking scum. You know what I mean? And then you go across the road from Old Street and go like up to the West End sort of way, and there'd be Chelsea and Arsenal and a few people with common sense that spot that are the fucking Yid Army. Man United everywhere, world over. I'll be for, yeah. You know what I mean? I went on holiday to Salou once, and I walked into a pub with me Tottenham top on. I think it was a 93 Tottenham top, a 94 Tottenham top. I walked in there, and it was a Man United pub, and I had 1 pint. Only because I ain't backing down. I had 1 pint, and I got round the corner, and the fuckers are following me down the road, bro. You know what I mean? Following me down the road. I had to fucking take a swift exit into fucking some apartment block and fucking take my top off and walk out the other side with my sunglasses on and my hair tied back. That was when I did have fucking hair. No Spurs fans in Oz. It's fucking you. Fucking you, Milton. Man United's biggest team in the world, or Real Madrid, I'd say. Do you know what? If you go to in Spain, it's either Barcelona or Real Madrid, isn't it? But then you've got the Basque Country. If you go up to northern Spain, the biggest club up there is Atletico Madrid, us Basques, proper Basque, right? They're tribal as fuck. You won't see a Real Madrid top up there or a Barcelona top, not a Catalan top. And then the other side of the family all live in Barcelona. You will see a multitude of tops if you go to the tourist bit. PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Man City. But my dad, he comes from the back part of Spain. When he came to England, he supported West Ham because he moved into Bethnal Green. Johnny, Bethnal Green, do you follow any other league? If so, what? I watch Spanish football. I don't watch Spanish football as much as I watch Premiership football. It's hard to get all the games in, to be honest with you. I don't support any other team. I've got a soft spot for West Ham because I come from Bethnal Green because half my family are West Ham. And I grew up West Ham until I was about 4, 5. Got a soft spot for Leyton Orient. I've got a very big soft spot for Atletico Madrid. I've got a soft spot for Barcelona. I've got a soft spot. That's about it. I don't support any other team. I've just got little soft spots for them. No, Birmingham ain't nice. Nowhere's nice up north. Hotspur Wood, nowhere's nice up north Ireland. They're all fucking northern monkeys, bro. You know what I mean? The birds have got area chest than the geezers. You know what I mean? That's fucking up north. Anything north of Watford is a bit strange. You know what I mean? To me, living south of the water. Now, I'm from Bethnal Green. I live south of the water. That's totally fucked up in Kent, bro. Totally fucked up. I call it Bent Kent because everyone's just fucked up. They've got this weird mentality. I don't know whether they've been inbred for too long or they just don't get out much. Being Portuguese, I'm Spurs. My brother is Newcastle. Well, you Portuguese, Milt. You fucking geese, Milt. He's a Portugueser. Oh, for fuck's sake. At least you got a bit of Basque blood going through your veins there because we shagged all your birds, Milt. We shagged all your birds, bruv. So you got a bit of Basque blood in you somewhere. Newcastle, how can you? Brother is Newcastle. You know what? Get your fucking brother online, Milton. Get your fucking brother online, Geordie bastards. Mum's Crystal Palace and daddy's. Your mum's got a bit of taste. At least that's a fucking sort of London team, Crystal Palace. Would you call Crystal Palace London? Yeah, I suppose you could. I call them out in the sticks. When I was a kid, Crystal Palace was like, oh, that was countryside, bruv. Daddy's Everton. Oh, Milton. At least you got a diverse. Everyone's got a free mind in the ass, bruv. You know what I mean? Serie A is my second. Inter Milan. You like Inter Milan? Fucking hell, Dan. Dan, I'm going to have to fucking have words with you, bruv. We're going to have to get you a bit more Spanishy, bruv. You know what I mean? Go for Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. Go for some quality, bruv. Come on. Them Italians. Mind you, them hairy armpits on them birds. I could be swayed. You follow BVB in Germany, Real Betis in Spain, and Fiorentina in Italy. Oh, Milton, we're going to have words in a minute, mate. Real Betis, I tell you. You're from Madeira. All my dad's best friends we worked with was from Madeira. You got a similar genetics to us Basques. I'm in Blackpool at the minute. It's a bit slow. Kent, go Dartford. Oh, mate, go Chatham. Go Chatham Hotspur, eh, Dan? We won't talk about Chatham. Proper inbred club in there enough times. You couldn't get it. It must be ugly. Go Chatham. We'll just leave it at that, Dan. Chatham. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to go now because I've got to do my emails and sort my life out. I've got to get dressed. I'm in my fucking underpants, lad. Look. Fucking underpants, mate. Fucking hell. Sweating me nuts off. Mum's near the 80s. She picked the club because she likes the name. Good on her. I like the name. I spent a good few years at Crystal Palace. I used to live around that way. Madeira. That's a beautiful island. Milton. Oh, mate. Lovely. Anyway, let's go. Say goodbye. Thanks for. I didn't even want to come on. I was only going to do a 10-minute video because I've got battery exhausted. You know what I mean? So I thought to myself, I'll come on and do a live because at least then it won't take no battery power. Thank you for everyone being here. Let's spread the Spurs love. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Peter Kagayas. And thank you, Dragon. Absolutely lovely people with all diverse opinions that was just respecting each other. Wow. You are the saviors. You are the saviors. Yeah, I do my live. I used to do lives, Dan, on the mental health. So I don't mind doing lives by myself. I don't get as nervous. When I'm on with other people, it's because I've got an attitude. I don't want my buttons being pressed because I know some of them like to be divisive. And I know from the WhatsApp groups and the text message and the screenshots that I've got that they just want to press my buttons. And maybe they can set me off on one. Maybe I'll bite my lip then. I'll bite my lip and I'll start going on and spreading the gospel of Tottenham Hotspur and just support the fucking club. Don't demean us. Don't demean us. Have a lovely day, everyone. Love you. I absolutely love you all. Unconditional love to everyone. Baked potato.